Set pieces. It's Farrell on it again. Deep one around the back. Quinn scored! There is the breakthrough goal! It's Andrew Quinn. The underdogs bare their teeth and show their fight in this cup final. Drogheda United strike first.
Welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, the Drogheda United fans podcast, proudly sponsored by the Coffee Box.
Hello and welcome to the We Are the Drogs episode number 20. Joined again by Owen. How are you, Owen?
Up the butter, Greg. How are you?
I'm good. Much better form this week. And joined again by Richie. How are you, Richie?
Yeah, all good, lads. Yeah.
Bit more buzzing the weekend than we were the weekend before.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it really was. In fairness, now the last month it's just been a proper downer, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It really has. And you know what? I take it all credit in last week's podcast. I'm so angry.
Speak for yourselves, lads. I was grand.
We just let it all out.
It's like therapy, yeah.
It really was, yeah. No, definitely better form this week, without a doubt.
I said to Bogo, Richie, that he's gonna end up doing a Michael Douglas in that movie, Falling Down. You know, the way he just bottles everything up, and one day on his way to work he just goes absolutely postal and kills a load of people. That's what you're gonna end up doing, on.
Yeah, I tell you, and we see him in the middle of the pitch, so I'm like, what we breaks are after us losing, and just going in with everybody.
doing a Paddy Campbell and boxing the head off the ref.
We'll be pulling them back over the barrier.
If I haven't done it by now, I'll never do.
I know. Look, it's good to have a forum to get these things off your chest. I didn't think we were that angry last week, Richie, but me and you were getting it in the neck off a few people saying that, Jesus lads, you were raging. I didn't think we were.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I was probably more angry with the whole dummy thing, I suppose. That really did get under my skin. But I got told off as well for too much bad language, so I apologise. I was playing golf with a lad the other day, and he's like, not bad language, that podcast. I was like, oops.
Yeah, he had it said to me at the game the other night. And the person who said it to me has a mouth like an ashtray, so I was laughing at him, but I was just like, Jesus lads, F-bomb. And I was like, yeah, look, come on, we're all grown men. I apologise if there is children listening, but, you know, it's...
Yeah.
What can we do?
We're very fucking sorry.
You're going to hear worse on the terrace, kids, believe me.
Very much so.
We didn't use the C word anyway, but we'll keep that one for later on, and for the next time we go to Bowes, maybe.
Yeah,
sure, that one might come up a few times. But, so look, before we get into the game, Richie, you were up in United Park on Saturday for that memorabilia day thing.
I was, absolutely, yeah, it was brilliant, so it was just sort of a last minute decision. I knew it was on, I seen it being advertised during the week, and we were sitting at home on Saturday, and said, come on, we'll go up and have a look. So it was really worth it. It was really good. I walked in, and all old memorabilia, obviously, programs, all the old photos. The FAI Cup was there as well. Walked in, and Kevin Dotley was there, and Darren Doyle was great. Two boys were there. Graham Gatlin was there, along with Robbie Hogan. And Martin Lawler was there, and Harry McHugh.
Yeah, I seen that.
It was brilliant, so it was. Now, we just got in time, and Doherty and Dara got up and spoke. The two boys spoke really well. Really, it just really filled me with confidence listening to the two of them. Brilliant.
What were they talking about, Richie? I'm interested in that.
Yeah, basically, so Hubert Murphy was doing the interviews with them, and he was just asking them about, just basically, like, in fairness, he did ask them about the last month and everything going on, and you could see it in Doherty. He was still bubbling, he's still not over it. You know, he's very, very much annoyed over the last month, which we all are, I suppose. But, he was on about the future of the club, really, and Kev said, look, we know the whole plans with the stadium, and he said, I hope yourself and Dara are here to see it through, and we really want to be here for when the new stadium gets going. Which was, brilliant. I thought was really positive, you know.
Yeah, it's great to hear, and it sort of ties in with a couple of things really. Like I know there was a few people kind of thinking like once Duff headed out the door in Shelbourne, there's always every time a manager gets the boot in this league, we all get a bit antsy thinking,
Yeah.
Kevin's doing such a good job on a shoestring budget, and he's going to get jobs, dangled in front of him like Cork City last year, Bowes maybe earlier this year, if the rumours are to be believed. And I'm sure, there was a lot of us. I wasn't overly worried about it, to be honest with you. I didn't think he would go, but I know there was a few people thinking, Jesus, this would be the latest in a long line of bad luck, if Kevin was to, be offered the Shelbourne job. But we know now that Joey O'Brien's been offered the job, so we're fairly safe now with Kevin. So,
Yeah.
and the other thing, was his, interview during the week with Luke. Now I know there was a lot. We spoke a good bit last week on the podcast about being sort of annoyed with the football club and the lack of interviews, lack of information. Not a lot of transparency there. Like, you know what I mean? And Owen, you were giving us stick for saying, well, what do you want to know? When I listened back to it a little bit, I kind of thought you had a point, to be honest. But it was good to see Kevin's interview, and it was a good long interview. It was over 10 minutes with Luke, and he did talk about a lot of the stuff that we were kind of saying we'd like to know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I definitely agree with you there. I'll listen back to last week's Owen. He was right, like, the club can't go out and say, this is what we're doing, this is who we're signing. But what I got from that interview with Luke, which was a brilliant interview as well, I think Luke's doing a really good job with the interviews. He's brilliant at it. Brilliant at it. So long may that continue. But what I got from that interview was, before that interview, everybody was saying, where are we signing? Where are we signing? Why aren't we signing? Why aren't we doing this? And after that interview, there was nothing about signings, because Doherty made it clear. He said, look, this is what we're doing. Not going to rush into it. We've got a break. We don't have a league match on the 1st of August. I ain't rushing into it. And that was it, and that's all he wanted, wasn't it? That communication from the manager and the club. It was a brilliant interview. And the whole signing things has died down a bit, hasn't it? Like, I'm fine with it now. I know what Doherty's doing and the club's doing, so let them fire away.
Yeah, it could have probably put the mind at ease a little bit. Boga, Did you watch the interview?
I did, yeah. Once I sobered up from the wedding, I went to watch it back. He spoke well, and like, he said a lot of bits like you kind of knew already. Like, he had mentioned before that he was signing, but I suppose you're going to go into a bit more detail and a bit clearer, as opposed to, like he said in a post-match interview before. I can't remember, was it a post-match interview or in that one he mentioned about Dougie not telling him until the Friday that he was going?
Yeah.
So I mentioned that as a possibility. I say, for all we know, I said last week, for all we know, Dougie might have made a very late decision on who he was signing for and not told anyone. That was, which Kev kind of confirmed that, which I think is bad form from Dougie, to be honest.
So basically what we're saying there is that Dougie waited until after the Derry game to say yes or no.
Yeah. That's when he told Kev.
Yeah, I heard that as well from Doherty the other day. I was talking to him.
That's not good, is it?
It's hard to deal with, isn't it?
I mean, he had weeks after the decision was made on Europe that we weren't going to be in Europe, and if that's what turned his head and he wasn't interested in staying, I mean, he's had weeks now to make up his mind. Unless Bowes didn't come in until late, but I doubt that. I'd say Bowes kind of putting out the feelers for weeks before that.
No, I'd heard a couple of weeks before that Bowes were in from.
Right.
So, yeah.
He's kind of going down in the estimation here now, a little bit.
Yeah, no, look, as I said, there's not a lot he could have done with it. Like if he did hear that late, like, what is Doherty and the club supposed to do? You know what I mean? You're sort of starting your plans back from scratch again, aren't you? You're going to plan B or whatever it is. But look, it is what it is. I just thought the interview was great with Doherty now, and as you said, actually put everybody's minds at ease, and just right, he's in control. You know what they're doing. Let's trust him now.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
That's what I got from it.
No, I agree with you there. Owen, you just mentioned it there. He specifically said, like, I'm not going to rush out there and bring in players just before the Galway game, because we've got the Galway game. We know we're down 7 senior players, and we were down to the absolute bare bones the other night. But, what does he do? He goes and starts a lad that hasn't started a game all season. He's had a couple of little cameo roles, and he's an under-20s player. And again, in Kevin's post-match interview, he states that he didn't feel that, I'm going to call him Dare because I know that's his name. A lot of other people were calling him Kareem and different things the other night, so I'm just going to refer to him as Dare, if that's all right. So he brought him in, and basically he reckons that when he came into the club, he just wasn't up for starting games. I'm not sure whether he was referring to fitness or what he actually meant by that, but it was basically like, trying to get him up to scratch over the last few months, that he'd be able to come in and lead the line and start the game. And he did that on Friday, and then he goes and gets the goal, which was, you could see it in the celebration, how much it meant to the player and to Kevin.
Yeah, no, you really could. Yeah, I do think he was referring to fitness and that, wasn't it? And just that sort of senior football, to be ready for senior football. Now, he is only a young lad. Is he 19? Is he 20?
Yeah, 19.
19, yeah.
He's so young, and the that, and I suppose it's the whole lifestyle around being a professional footballer now. So I think that's what Doherty was getting at. But he obviously walked with him and got him up to that level, and it paid off last Friday night with a great goal. And look, we all seen the celebrations he even straight for Doherty, didn't he?
Yeah, geez, he ran a mile to get to him. Huge embrace. It was class to see, and it was like we'll get to the game now in good time, but like just that celebration, and that, I think that was reflected in all of us. Like, the place just erupted when he scored. It was just a massive sort of tension, sort of relief in the ground, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could just feel it all coming out after, as we said, such a shit month, and we just needed that, and it just brought everybody together. I think again, as you said, the whole ground just erupted.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It was a brilliant atmosphere, wasn't it, the other night?
Class.
Right, lads, so we might as well just get kind of stuck into the game while we're here. I think I watched the highlights again earlier on. Obviously, I was at the game. Galway actually scored. Wow, what was it, about 10, 15 minutes in, I think, maybe, something like that. Malcolm Shaw scored a goal. I think he's a new signing for Galway, is he?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that would. I think he came in before Moses Dyer left, and apparently they're also looking to bring in another striker to kind of replace Dyer as well. But I think he looked okay the other day. I mean, he scored the goal, but it was offside. Like, I still kind of thought the defending was a little bit shaky for it when you watch it back again. But the ball gets lashed and it hits off your man Dare. And it just kind of goes over Harper Bailey's head. And I mean, no one was expecting that kind of deflection, but the lads were a little kind of slow to react. But it ends up, he was definitely offside, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was. I actually haven't got a chance to look back at the highlights now. It's just very hard to see where we stand. Obviously, you're not right in line with the book. Yeah, look, he did something. Look, it was good to get a call in your favour, I suppose. But just on the defence, I thought we started really slow the other night on defending. I thought it was really bad. But then, when you realise the wind,
oh yeah,
absolute blowing a gale onto the cross lanes. It was blowing a gale. And you're looking at the ball come up in the, especially against Galway. So they'd love that. You know what I mean? High balls into the box, winning headers. And players couldn't just judge it. It was really hard to judge. You could see the flight of the ball wasn't right, and you're missing headers, and even when you were heading it was coming back on them. So it was really difficult. So was to defend against, which I thought they did great there. They settled into it, and did really well.
Yeah, agree with every word you said there. I think sometimes when you stood on the terrace, like, you just don't realise how windy it is on that pitch, but you could really see it the other night. And I know Crowley and that in the commentary kind of made reference to it on several occasions, basically saying that, Drogheda are going to have the wind with them now in the second half, and it's going to be massive. And it proved right, because, I mean, to be honest, I think the first half was probably kind of a 50-50 game. I mean, we defended well. Obviously, they had the wind on their backs. They did a few kind of half chances here and there. I think Dennison had to pull off a really good save, but it was actually from Conor Keeley. Do you remember that one? It was on about 12 minutes in. Keeley sort of just deflected the ball. It just whacked off him, and Dennison had to pull off a really good save. But apart from that, not really much. Couple of chances from outside the box here and there. I don't remember many other chances.
No, we can't remember too much. What were you on?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot in the first half. It was a bit scrappy, and as you mentioned already, I think it was really down to the wind. The possession lads had loved this. We actually had more possession of the ball in the first half.
Oh yes, I got that straight away when I come home the other night.
Yeah. The possession wankers had loved that. I swore again. Sorry. Second half, I thought we were very good. We were a bit on the ball, a bit more. We passed the ball. In general, we passed the ball a lot better, a lot more frequent as well. It's just a game that suited us, but I thought it's good to see. I thought Markey had his best game. I know he's been kind of coming on in dribs and drabs, but I thought Markey was very good.
He was brilliant.
He was, yeah. I thought Kareem was very good as well. I know he had a good chance in the first half where he kind of mishit it. And I thought, I hope that doesn't dent his confidence too much. Then the second half he goes in, and it was a great finish for his goal as well. Just turn and bang, smashing in the net. But he's very physical. There was a couple of times he shouldered a few lads off the ball and stuff, and they weren't fouls. But the Galway lads were looking what the fuck's going on here? To be swearing again, sorry. But yeah,
and then on that now.
yeah. And then later on, then he held the ball up in the corner. He was doing all these little mad flicks and stuff. And he wasn't showing. He had to do it. That was class. That
was
showed
brilliant,
confidence. And he won the man of the match. So fair play to him.
Yeah, no.
He did three or four of those little back heel things in a row. Do you remember that? Getting it. Yay! Every time he did one, it was brilliant.
Yeah, he was. I was actually just watching him, and I thought the ball was bouncing off him a lot at the beginning of the game. He was trying to get his body in between him and the defender. The ball would bounce off him, and all that will come with experience, I suppose. He is only 19, but his walk rate, unbelievable. Him and Tommy Lewis worked really well together, I thought.
Yeah.
He never stopped walking, winning headers. Well, maybe he didn't win all the headers, but he went in for every header. You know what I mean? He was his walk rate was unbelievable, so it was. And he got his reward with a super goal.
When I come home, I was looking at the highlights, and you're thinking, I'd say that Barry probably challenged for more balls and put more effort in that 90 minutes than, say, the likes of France did all of last year. And I'm not saying they're different players. France scored goals. He's one of them players that, he'll get you goals. I'm not slagging the guy, but just from a walk rate point of view, we were always very frustrated with him. And even Dougie, to a degree, you could question his walk rate. On an occasion, you'd go, he looked a bit lazy there. But your man, Darry, whether it was just because he was just full of adrenaline, he was after scoring, and, it was his first kind of start. But he was just a ball of energy, and he's a big boy, so he'd be hard to handle.
Oh yeah, and you know what? You can't buy that enthusiasm of a young kid.
Yeah.
You can't buy that. Yeah. He is out there to prove a point to everybody. You know, so you can't buy that. And he really did deliver the other night, and he deserved his man of the match. He never stopped the whole game. I was very impressed with him. Very impressed.
Yeah, 100%. I have to give Owen Lamb a mention again. I know we do most weeks. I know we're big fans of him here. Like I just think he's absolutely class. But the long throw that led to the goal, I mean, it's an absolute weapon. I was listening to the RTE soccer podcast earlier with Raf and the lads, and one of them happened to mention it. They were just saying, like, Jesus, those throws from Owen Lamb. I think one of them actually said teams are going to end up putting the ball out for a corner rather than putting it out for a throw because they're better off getting a corner than the throw. Because I mean, he's lethal with them, like.
Yeah, it really is. It is brilliant to have, isn't it?
Oh, brilliant. I mean, he just could have catapulted the ball into the box, and one of the Derry defenders just had to get anything on it. So got a poor enough header, and then Keeley ends up sort of flicking it on to Derry, and just bam, like there's no saving that goal. But it all comes from the Owen Lamb throw, obviously. I mean, it's a great weapon to have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he's got so much more to his game as well. He's a fabulous footballer.
Yeah. He's a brilliant baller. Yeah, no, agreed.
As I said, just we were up in the clubhouse on Saturday and got talking to Darty for a few minutes, and he was on about the stick the team was getting the last month about not being able to play football. But he was like, we have some good footballers in this team, like, and he's right, we do. Like, in my opinion, and I know I'm being biased, but I think we're the best keeper in the league. And Denison.
Number of clean sheets would back you up on that, like.
Yeah, I really do. And I know there's a couple of good keepers in the league, but obviously people say you're biased. We're brilliant. Well, look at our two full-backs as well, in Kane and Lamb. Like, they're as good as any full-backs in the league. They're up there. Really
I'd say Josh Hunland's probably the best in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Below that, you're talking Lamb is up in the conversation. Like,
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And Kane, Kane's been solid now all season. And then you go in to midfield, like Ryan has the experience, we all know what Ryan does. But Dare Kareem in the second half the other night, brilliant. He was really back to his own self. And Donny did say he was injured the last couple of games.
Yeah.
They had to play him. But he looked really sharp and fit the other night.
Yeah, he had I think it was some sort of tendonitis thing. I'm not sure where, but that's what it was, and that's what the niggle was. So he was kind of throwing him into games and playing him as a sub. But I would agree. I think the first half, it was quite difficult for him to kind of get on the ball and try and create. But second half, as you said, he really looked back to where we need him to be, because as much as we say we have some really good ballers in the team, I mean, he's the one who sticks out. And when he's ticking, he'll make things happen. We badly miss him when he's not there, and it's a bit of a worry at times that we don't have someone to come in and replace him that can kind of play that kind of football. You know what I mean? A real baller. We need. We obviously we'll talk about our hopes of bringing in players. We've been speaking about it for probably a month now, but I think if we're bringing in midfielders, I'd love to see some more of that Dare Kareem kind of a mould. I mean, you're not going to pick up a Dare Kareem anywhere very easily, but just lads that can come in and put their foot on the ball and pick a pass, and that kind of player.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, we have mentioned it before here. We're only probably 2 or 3 of that type of player away from really bringing this team to the next level.
Yeah,
like, it's not a whole pile we need. Like as you said, you're not going to pick up players like Dare Kareem, but that sort of ball player, isn't it? Somebody put their foot on the ball, keep possession a little bit more. And then what we already have there, as I said, not knocking what we have, I think they're a fantastic bunch of players. So, yeah, hopefully, but look, as we said, hopefully Donny now just takes his time, finds the right player.
When you were talking to Kevin the other day up in the clubhouse, and he mentioned people that were criticising the team, did he realise it was you that was doing it?
I've never criticised that. I've sent him a new contract.
Not criticising Doherty, criticising the players in the pitch, saying that we can't play football. Do you remember how annoyed we got after the Derry game? We were like, Jesus Christ, lads, you know what I mean? You're all pros.
Yeah. And you know, I was talking about it, I was thinking to myself, I wonder did he listen to the podcast? Is this fella pulling me in here? Is he? But, no, look, in fairness now, I think the Derry game now, I think everybody was a little bit annoyed with that performance that night.
Yeah.
But no, look, if you listen back to the podcast now, we've always been positive about the players. And
Yeah, look, I mean, Christ, we're football fans first and foremost. I mean, that's all we are. It's just us sitting around chatting about a game. It's just probably what everyone else does, except we've decided, rightly or wrongly, to record the conversation and let other people hear it. I don't know why we have done, but that's what we've done. But you know what I mean? You know, from week to week, it's going to be, you know, a bit of an emotional bloody roller coaster. You know, we'll probably be buzzing now because we're after beating Galway 1-0 at home. You know, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, we were after getting a right out spanking off Derry in Derry, and it wasn't the result that really got me. It was just the manner of the performance. I just thought was really flat, and you know, it just didn't. The boys didn't step up to the mark on that night, and it's only happened to us a couple of times this year. You know, we're way more forward than we thought we were going to be this year. We thought we were going to be, and I'm not saying we're not going to get dragged down because God knows what's going to happen. A lot of teams down at the bottom there seem to be improving, like Sligo seem to be improving a lot. They had a decent 2-2. They went 2-0 up against Shamrock Rovers last week. So, you know, like I'm not saying we're a top 4 team now, lads. You know what I mean? We're not. We could slide down, and we all know that. But as you've said, Richie, I think on numerous occasions, like if we finish above the bottom 2, it's a successful year for us.
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. But I think what annoys us as well, especially with the performance, we know what these players can do, and we know how good they are. And when they don't do it, I suppose that's what gets everybody frustrated. We know they're good players. But yeah, no, definitely, it's like our expectations really got not out of hand this season, but I suppose it's just natural, wasn't it? We've been sitting in the top half of the table all season.
Yeah.
Sitting top of the table for a lot of the season. So I suppose it's only natural. You do want more, don't you? Like, as football fans, you're greedy. You want more.
Yeah, I'd say some people's expectations did get out of hand, like, realistically, like, and the last few games have probably been a bit of a reality check for some people.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Well, look, as I say, we know what these players are capable of. We're watching them every week, home and away. And then when you see them not putting in the performance, now look, injuries are playing a part, we understand that. But when you see them just not playing football that we know they can play, I think that's what got us all frustrated.
Yeah, you know you can do better than that, like,
Yeah. And look, they did, and look, we started off now, as Toppy said as well the other day, he said with a bad June, we've started off July on a high note. I know we've only one more game in July, so you know we can have a good month of July as well.
Yeah, I am of the opinion that also, like, I know other people. Somebody on Twitter basically said, like, has a League of Ireland club ever had a worse June than Drogheda United? And I mean, that's exactly how we all felt about it. We just thought, this can't get any worse for us. You know, it was just constant. It was like kicking the teeth after kicking the teeth. And then we go to Derry and we just get destroyed, and we played, like, probably the worst game I've seen them playing in a long time. It was reminiscent of last year.
Did you see my response to that tweet, Greg?
No, I'm not on Twitter, Owen. I just heard it off somebody. Go on, what did you say?
Man United left the league in June 2012, so could have been worse.
Oh, that's right. You actually got a shout out on the League of Ireland, the LOI weekly podcast. So you did. They read out your tweet.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah,
good man, Owen.
Yeah, brilliant. No, great response, and you're right. Jesus Christ, things could be a lot worse. And as you said last week, you know, high courts and going into administration and all that, we need to kind of get a little bit of a hold of ourselves a little bit. I'm not sure whether, you know, some of the people who maybe were overreacting, because we all know there's one or two who overreact every week. and they're just idiots. But, there did seem to be a little more of a reaction after the Derry game than you would normally get. Like, it even felt a bit more than some of the overreactions from last year, because last year we were on just such a bad run that I think people ended up kind of getting used to the fact that, we're just shy. It's just not happening for us. You know what I mean? It's just not working out. But this year, because as we said, we've been up the top end of the league for most of it, which, let's face it, lads, we're not used to being up there. It's a long time since we've kind of got through, like, we're over halfway through the season. When's the last time we were up, in fourth place? It's a good few years. Like, we're just not used to being where we are. And then you get a kick in the teeth and people are like, oh, Jesus, typical draw there, it was always going to happen. And you know what I mean? So, look, I think we all, maybe, except you, Owen, because you're just a rock of sense, but maybe the rest of us overreacted a little bit to last week.
I think you did anyway, yeah.
No, I like, in fairness, and football is opinion, isn't it? Everybody's got an opinion on it. Like, it doesn't mean you're right or they're wrong. It's just your opinion. But definitely, as you say, Greg, a lot of people just really overreact. Like, I know definitely the whole of the June, it just all bubbled up, the whole frustration of it. And it's just all released there probably at the end of the month there, with the transfer window opening and losing the one or two players, losing Dougie. But
yeah,
I don't mind lads having an opinion. I love it. I love listening to everybody's opinion on it, because it wouldn't be boring if we all had the same opinion.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. And actually, I looked reading all the comments, and we got messages from a lot of people last week. The most we've got from our new episodes, so it was great to go through them and everything.
It really was, and to hear other people's opinions, as I said, because even I said on it, we don't claim to know everything. We're just, as you said, Greg, so three lads here chatting about it. So it's not our word. But look, but the overreaction did get a bit of hand, didn't it? Like, people calling for Doherty to be sacked and everything. Like, that's just ridiculous.
That's just, it's pathetic, and it really just, it's brainless. It's just a brainless comment, and anyone says Kev out or Doherty should be sacked is an idiot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think most people would agree with me there. Like, I mean, Christ almighty. Well, yeah, go and sack a manager who had us nearly top of the league for most of the season, who's playing off the second lowest budget in the entire division, who's won us an FAI Cup. What are you talking about, man? That's just ridiculous, like.
Yeah, well, just even watching his interviews before and after match, the passion, like, that man just gives everything to Drogs United every week. To me, like, I hope we never lose him. I really don't. I hope he's here for a long time.
Like Fergie.
Yeah, absolutely, like Fergie, yeah. Was it 27 years?
Something like that, yeah. Take that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, look, I mean, you've all been watching, Drogs for a long time, and you'd be kind of hard put to pick a manager. I know we're probably going over old ground. We've probably said this before, but you'd be hard put to pick a Drogheda United manager that has such a connection with the supporters, and people love him. And even when we win, lose or draw, he's honest about it, and we know what side our bread is buttered on here. Like, you know what I mean? All this knee-jerk reaction stuff, let's leave that to Bose. You know what I mean? Let's let them sack, three managers in one season. And, even Pats fans now, a few of them calling for Kenny's head, because obviously they're in a bit of a slump and they're not doing great. But I just don't think that's not the Drogheda United way. We don't do that. You know what I mean? We know where we are, and we know why we're here, and we know the man responsible for it. And the more support he gets from us and from Travella and from everyone concerned, the better we will all do. And we're all in this together. It's, that doesn't mean we can't come out in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, whenever, the beginning of August or whatever, and and we might be critical of the team, and we might be critical of Kevin and say, I don't think he should have played him. But that's opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion without going down the road of, calling for a manager's head and all that. That's just, it's, I'm going to say bollocks. Sorry for swearing, but it is. It's ridiculous.
It did, yeah. And I don't know, we used to in early the other night. See Dottie coming over to the crowd before the game, during the warm-up.
No, I missed that.
No, I missed that.
Yeah. Used to are always in late anyway. Where do you see that?
I was on day 2 of the wedding. I had an excuse.
I was sat in the car eating Bombay mix.
Yeah, no, it was great because the players were out doing the warm-up and Dottie come over and clapping the fans and like hitting the crest. The way just hitting the crest with his hand and clapping the fans was brilliant. This was before the game. This was during the warm-up.
Trying to rouse up the supporters and get people buzzing, like.
Yeah, not even that. Just to say, look, we're all in this together. This is our club. I'm here with you, and let's get going. You know, it was brilliant. So it was, and he got a good reaction.
Love it.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant to see. It really was.
Yeah, it was great at the end as well with Dare coming over as well, giving it loads to the fans and stuff, and KEV as well. So.
Yeah, and then the picture with Dean. Did you see the picture of him hugging Dean at the end of it?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, he shouldn't be on the pitch. He should probably get a 3-game ban for doing that.
Yeah, but like you don't see managers of other clubs doing that with fans. You just don't see it.
No, you don't. No, you're right.
He's got a great connection with the lads there. You know, it's brilliant to see. So long may it continue.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose we leave the Galway game there, lads. Obviously, we haven't spoken about it for the last 10 minutes, but there's not really much more to say, is there? When we held out, and it was a really dogged, it wasn't the best game of football in the world, but it was entertaining. And when you go 1-up, it's, the manager, the referee made a couple of very, very weird decisions, I think, in the second half. He was starting to get me wick. The usual carry on. He was blowing things up that didn't really need blowing up. And I think he threw Luke Heaney a red card. I mean, maybe he deserved that after a while. It was 1 or 2 incidents, but he seemed to lose control of it a little bit for me.
Yeah, there was some strange decisions, alright. He seemed to let a lot go. And then, as I was talking to the boys beside me, I was letting let go of a boat, and they're like, no, he's not. It's fucking Drogheda. He's giving Drogheda nothing here tonight. And they are probably right. There's some strange decisions, alright. And it's a while since we talked about a referee.
I thought so as well. I know there was one where Dare was through on goal, but I think in that case he actually was right. It was a head injury on Greg Cunningham. I think he had to go off because of it. Right. I know it was frustrating at the time, but fucking head injury is a head injury, and that's the way the rules are.
Yeah.
Look, the likes of that, alright. I thought Keelan was going to go mad at that stage. Did you see him?
Yeah, he was losing it, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was bouncing around the pitch.
You would be like, but
yeah,
he was properly hurt in fairness to Cunningham, so.
Yeah. Just even on the game, I know now you're looking at me, but I thought we were brilliant in the second half. I thought we really, really played well in the second half.
I did too.
Yeah.
I thought second half was really, really, it was a proper battling performance, you know what I mean? And you have to do that against Galway, we know that. You have to dig in, you have to match them physically, try and win as many kind of free kicks, throws. I mean, that's the game you're in when you're playing Galway like that.
Yeah, and that's our first time beating them since they come back up to the Premier League.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's only back 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, they're back 2 years, but we played them 4 times last season and 3 already this, so 7 games.
It's the first win.
First win, since they come back up, yeah.
Yeah, I had
draws now.
Yeah, I had a mad start. I think last season when they bet us, that was their first victory in 17 attempts. Obviously, we were probably in a lot of different leagues over the years. We're probably going back years and years and years. But we've battered Galway. Well, not battered Galway, but we have a great record against them up until last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely. And obviously that big playoff match that was against Galway, wasn't it? 3-2.
Greatest game of football I've ever been at, Richie.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
there from the first leg.
Oh my God, that was incredible. The atmosphere in United Park that night was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was brilliant. So I actually heard a story about that. Wasn't there Galway beat us 2-0 the first leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there a newspaper report or something came out in the paper goal is celebrating and saying that's it, they're through, the game won.
Yeah.
I think didn't that article, that newspaper went up in the dressing room.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah. No, that was a team part done.
Yeah.
You know, it was a fantastic night, 1-3 now, didn't we, that night?
Yeah, Daniel O'Connor, I remember, scored the winner.
Yeah, you're right, he's got the winner. Who's got the other two? Do we know? I forget.
I think
Andy
Milo. I think Andy Milo scored one. I think they had 2 goals disallowed on the night.
Yeah, they did, yeah. I remember that. And dubious, I think they were as well.
Yeah, that's what made it such an incredible atmosphere, like, because you thought, oh no, if they get 1 or 2, we're fucking done here, like. But I actually have that on VHS, lads.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm nearly sure it was Big Al's. I have it. I have it.
He's been looking for that, by the way.
No, he knows I have it. I told him I had it. But there's no sound on it. There's no audio. It's just the game. It's just a video camera at the game.
Okay.
Because I don't think it was televised. I think it was just somebody from the club. I think Terry Collins might used to do videos. Did he? Somebody used to do videos, yeah. Somebody videoed the game, and Big Al ended up getting a copy of it. I know he ended up where. I haven't a clue where it is. It's in a box, probably somewhere in the attic. But one of these days, I'll have to dig it out. I'll dig it out, and we can do new commentary on it and stick it up on YouTube for a laugh. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
We get the old team back together. It was Brian Whelan and Newburger used to do commentary on the games. We get used to do it. Or Fabrice or somebody.
Yeah, except for Fabrice, and they used to have guest commentaries and stuff, yeah, back in the day.
That'd be a laugh. Just lads, just still on the Galway game, just to say, what did you reckon on the new 8-second rule for the goalkeeper? I thought it benefited Denison.
Yeah, somebody said that to me alright today. I think it was Noel, the comment I was talking today. He said he sort of released the ball quicker, didn't he, and got us going. So you're getting the ball out to Lamb quicker and Kane.
He wasn't even taking anywhere near the 8 seconds either. Like, it was very quick distribution.
Really was, yeah. No, definitely did work in our favour, I thought.
No, I did too. I was thinking, like, all right, that's maybe against Galway. That's, but playing Rovers at home or Rovers away or whatever, you know what I mean? Not at home as such, but maybe Rovers away, and that you might need to hold on to the ball for a little bit longer. But it'll put a stop to him getting a hold of the ball and going flat down onto the ground and staying down there for 20 seconds, because he's an awful man for that, like.
Yeah, he was good at it, in fairness.
Yeah.
But like, even go back to the point that we made earlier, we have good footballers in that team. Like, get the ball to Lamb as quick as you can, get it to Kane, get it onto Markey. Like, why not? Like, we have good players.
Yeah. Agreed. Bit more on the front foot now going forward. I'd love to see that.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, look, if we hit that magic 40 points, and then hopefully kick on from that. But it's a tough league, so you never know what will happen.
Yeah, very true. Well, you reckon 40 points will keep us up, Richie?
Yeah, well, just going on past seasons and past history of this Premier Division, the Bows have 41 points last year, finished 8th.
Okay.
We're on 38 at the minute.
Right.
So, I think we're on target for our highest ever points as well, aren't we, in the Premier League?
For us?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever got over something. Was it 40? I could be wrong now. Somebody did give me the numbers the other day. I forget what they said. But
what about when we won the league?
Yeah, probably that was the last time. Yeah.
Oh, under Mick Cook we came second. I'm sure we had a fairly good points tally then.
Yeah, maybe it was in Doherty's season. Like Doherty's there 6 seasons, is he, or something like that. But,
right.
Yeah, no, we're definitely well on target anyway for good points finish.
Right, good stuff. Yeah, look, before we wrap it up, any news on what the club is going to get up to now over the next month? I know we've Crumlin Friday week. It's on Friday the 18th of July. And there is talk about the players. I think you even mentioned this, Richie, maybe last week. There's talk about the players going off to do a warm weather training somewhere, or Spain maybe or something. I think Kevin mentioned it. He didn't say where, but he said we were going to have to do something.
Yeah, I know during the week's holidays this week, so yeah, players
are
are all
they?
off. Yeah, they're all in family time, so they're all away. I think I've seen a few Instagram posts up as well. And they're back Friday, they're back next Friday for training for the Crumlin game the following Friday.
Wow,
And,
so we're the only club that's on a bit of a holiday at the minute, obviously. Everyone else is playing, or even in Europe.
yeah, well, that's it. Everybody else has games to get ready for. Obviously, we don't. So, look, badly needed as well. I'm sure the players are delighted to get a week off. So, they're back in next Friday, I heard, and then following Friday's Crumlin, and then I think they're going away in the team training session somewhere warm, I think. Don't know where.
Right. Do you reckon that he'll have bodies in before the Crumlin game and then before the warm weather training, wherever that is? You reckon we'll have a few in before then? It'd be good to.
I'd imagine you'd have them before hopefully get them in before the warm weather training, just to get them kind of, because it'd be a good thing to get used to the squad and everything for team bonding. Like, so I'd hopefully he'd have something in. Might not even be announced. The person could be over there playing, but they might not sign him until he comes back or something. You wouldn't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's not too bad with the Crumlin game, getting them in for that. I'd say the squad he has should be fine for the Crumlin game, but definitely if you could bring a few players away with him on the training camp, would be ideal.
Yeah, I got the impression off him that we've got 7 players out, and I got the impression that we're going to have 5 of them back. I mean, I don't think Alicia's going to be back, and Paul Doyle is crocked, so God knows when we'll see him. But I think all the other 5, including Josh Thomas, will be sort of fit and ready to go for the Crumlin game.
Yeah, and it was great to see Bulger coming on the other night. I thought he did really well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's great to see him back. Yeah.
He is one of our main players. He's just so reliable.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah, he's got good pace to turn. He's good in the air. He's calm on the ball. Yeah, I like him a lot.
And I mean, not underestimating Crumlin or writing them off or anything, but it's a great game to be able to kind of, probably start Derry again. That level of football, I'm sure he'd be able to fit in fairly well against that kind of opposition. Again, I'm not disrespecting them. I don't know any of the Crumlin players. I'm sure they probably got a few ex-League of Ireland lads in there, because I know a lot of those kind of Leinster Senior League teams do. But you'd be expecting us to go out there and do a job on them, and that'd be a good game for Derry. But it would also be a really good game for Josh Thomas to make an appearance off the bench, maybe get in and get himself a goal and try and get his draw the career back on track, because I think he looked really good from what we did see of him, which wasn't an awful lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, as you said, I would be definitely writing off Crumlin. Good Leinster Senior team, like playing top Leinster Senior as well.
Yeah, good club.
There'll be a lot of lads that probably could play League of Ireland, but probably can't commit to it.
Yeah.
Work-wise or business-wise, you wouldn't know. So it'd be a good team. But look, draw at home, a good crowd.
Yeah.
Us being professional, don't really have them set up right. We should be winning it. We do everything right.
Yeah, no, 100%. Do you reckon they might try and organise another friendly or something before the Bowls game, after the Crumlin game? Because we'll have 2 weeks after that then, won't we?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably could.
Probably.
Depending on where they're going in Spain, they could be playing somebody over there now, but behind closed doors.
Yeah.
A lot of European teams across that aren't in Europe, or like from European leagues, they're on training camps and stuff.
Yeah, there are a lot of English teams as well. Just in pre-season, back pre-season this week.
Yeah, no, good point. I was thinking even like head up north and play an Irish League team or whatever. I mean, they're probably crying out for decent friendly opposition as well. So I'm sure there's a couple of things in the works. Kev as much as said there was, obviously he wasn't giving away any details, but there's definitely plans there for them to get stuck back in. Like,
yeah, no, I couldn't see them going, say like Spain or Portugal, wherever they're going, without a match. I'd say a bit of training and a match all tied in, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. All right. Anything else we want to talk about, lads, before we go?
Just want to give a shout out to Draw the United fan Eric O'Brien, who's getting married now on Friday. So best luck to him and his partner Dee. Dee, if you're listening, it's not too late to run away, so you'll have time.
Oh God! Congratulations, Eric and Dee.
Best of luck.
Best of luck. You'll need it. How many weddings have you been at this year, Bogo? You seem to be constantly going to weddings.
This is my third.
Jesus, in July.
You're just a popular lad, aren't you, Owen?
Too friendly, that's my problem. Need to be a bit more of an asshole.
Oh God! No, you're just at that age, man, where all your friends are marrying off. You know.
Yeah, some of them have been married twice now at this stage as well.
Oh, I'd say they know who they are. Oh, Jesus.
And they definitely listen to this, so.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're a really nice guy, aren't you? Oh, God. Brilliant. Right, lads, anything else we want to...
No, just even a shout out to the Ultras. I thought you're back in form last Friday. I thought you were brilliant again.
Yeah, they were brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, and look, it was a bit flat, obviously, the last couple of weeks, and that wasn't just them, that was everybody. But the boys were on it the other night. I thought the atmosphere was brilliant again. So keep it up, lads.
Yeah, very good. I actually meant to say this last week, that the Ultras were looking for donations. They were doing it through the Revolut, and they had put it up on the Draw That social supporters page. So if people have a spare few bob, throw it towards the boys, because we all know it's expensive to do what they do, and if you have a couple of bob, you can Revolut them. Next episode, I'll get the actual Revolut address. I should have done that before this. I think it's Keane McCormick. Am I right in saying that?
Could be Keane, or it could even be Dean, could it?
I think it was Keane McCormick you had to Revolut. So anyone out there, if you have a spare few quid, anything at all, I'm sure the boys would really, really appreciate it, because we all know that the work they do is amazing. And I tell you what, the smoke the other night at the beginning of the game was mental. I couldn't see literally couldn't see my own hand. It was that thick.
Yeah, it was a good few smoke bombs, wasn't it?
Fucking mad. Jesus Christ. Great though, really good for the atmosphere, and it clears away quick enough, so brilliant.
Yeah, it was just on we were up in the club. That was before time in the clubhouse since it was done up.
Oh yeah, what's it like?
Yeah, it's class, it's fabulous, and there was a big photo along one of the walls. It was all of us fans blowing Dundalk.
No.
Yeah, oh no, I was right. I'm in a day with Martin and Evan, with my young lads over with all the Ultras holding a smoke bomb in the middle of it all. And I'm like, oh dear. It's like, and his mother was there with us as well, and she was like, is that you, Kyle, holding the smoke bomb? It's like, they didn't know anything about it.
Brilliant. Trying to deny it. That's not me, man, I swear.
Yeah. It was a brilliant photo of us all blowing out. I think it was the Jim Malone Cup.
Oh, right.
Brilliant photo with all the Ultras and the flags and the smoke bombs. Brilliant.
Class. I actually haven't made it up to the clubhouse yet at all, but I think we're planning on going up for the Crumlin game. We're going to go all prawn sandwich that night for the Kraken and go for the few points. So Richie, if you fancy coming up.
Yeah, we're actually just on about this. We actually haven't tasted the beer yet.
No, me neither.
Yeah, so I might target the Crumlin game, all right, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be a good laugh. Go up there and watch it from there. It's a great view from there as well.
Yeah, I used to spend a lot of nights up there back in the day.
We'll go up there and, like the old days, have that many points that I had to text somebody the next morning to ask what was the score.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, brilliant. Right, lads, I think we'll leave it there. I'm not sure what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks now. We might have a bit of a surprise episode in between now and the Crumlin game, if all goes to plan. If not, we'll be back to you after the Crumlin game, hopefully reporting on a good performance and talking about some new players and all positive stuff just for you, Owen.
All positive.
Yeah. Right, lads, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
All right. Good luck.
All the best.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Before you're leaving, and the
John.